Hello, glad to have you here. Today we're going to talk about how to build a better day before you even get going with life and business. How does that sound to you? Is that something you think you can get with? I mean, are you having some of those days that sometimes you get up and you get going and you just feel like, or you feel like you just don't want to get up, or you feel like you don't want to get started? Um, I've been there, and I won't say that I don't ever, end up in that spot sometimes, but I do whatever I can to keep myself from sitting in that because that can really hinder me. It can keep me stuck. It can keep me irritated, and I don't even know why. So, as you're hopping on, let me know where you're coming in from, whether you're catching us live or on the replay. Let me know what you think about this topic that we're going to go over today. And I'm only going to give 3 amazing tips because there are so many. It's one of those things where I tried to make sure it was something that I hadn't really touched on before. But there are so many different things that, ways that we can help ourselves, and just and by doing that we help others to see that we're not going to quibble and fall to the floor when something goes off or something off the rails or something happens or whatever. So I just wanted to share that with you here today, and I say life and business because overall we are a combination of that. Our life, our business, whatever it is in our lives, it's a part of what, it's a part of us, whatever that is. There are some things well, I won't get into that right now, but let me go on and introduce myself. My name is Cherie Woodard, and I help business builders and entrepreneurs to use social media to get prospects, leads, and sales in their business. I use a variety of ways. I use attraction marketing, I use lead generation, and video marketing. I also give updated, modern, and trending strategies and tips. And we have a few of those around now, especially in when we're talking about looking at micro video and what's happening all in that thing. But it's still amazing on how people take to these micro videos and really, there's a lot of engagement, a lot of viewing, and that kind of thing. So anyway, let me get back to what we're talking about today. So that's what I do. And I also want to let you know that, did it just slip out of my head? Oh, yeah. I also want to let you know that if, if you don't comment now, I would love to have you be interactive. But if you can't now, I understand that. You can always reach me in Messenger, and, we can have a chat about whatever. If you have a question about what we talked about today, if you have a question about what we talked about, Tuesday, because I'm only going live on Tuesdays and Thursdays now. So, and I'm still planning to keep it at noon unless something kicks me out of the way. That's a part of my mentorship program that I'm involved in. I just want to make sure that I can be the best that I can be, and I'm important to me, and to be able to help others, I need to make sure that I'm, ready to go, that I have the information that I need to help, and how to put that out there and help others. Excuse me. All right, so I'm going to get started with the 3 that I have, and like I said, you can definitely, drop in a question. You can, I'm on this a software that allows me to pull up your name if you want. I can, if you say hi, then I can pull you up and show what you're saying. But other than that, I won't be bugging you. So just wanted to let you know that. And let's go from there. So, one of the first things I have is, and this is like choosing from a list of things. It was really hard to narrow it down to three. But I know the other three that I always usually harp on or talk about or want to make sure that people are aware of. I didn't want to do that again. I want to give you some different things and that's what I'm doing today. So, the first thing I have, and these are in no particular order, but it's one of the things that I had to learn was to focus on what I control, what I can control. And in thinking about that, what can I not control so that it doesn't stress me out or cause me, to get upset or, just can't work or, just be all in my head. It's one of those things, especially in my life now. I mean, it happens to us all, or most of us anyway. But there are things that I can't control, but I want to help. And and I'm speaking of my younger son. And when I try to help, because of some of the issues that he has, then he takes it the wrong way that I'm trying to run things or control things or take over or get in his business or whatever. And I have difficulty with that. I have challenges with that, but I'm continuing to change myself in how I react to certain things. And, knowing that I don't have control over everything, I only have control over me and what I do, what I say, what I think, and maybe not even that because my subconscious likes to run crazy sometimes. And well, actually, most of the time, our I don't know if you were aware, but our subconscious controls us 95% of the time. I believe is the number. So when you decide that you don't control everything and what you can control, then focus on that and not allow yourself to get out of sorts because of things that you really can't control. And then the next one I have is embrace change. This was something that I started doing as a nurse, a younger nurse, so many years ago, because there were so many things changing, policies, paperwork, computers, more computers. Where we were going to actually be doing our notes in the computer during, some I used to one of the places I worked was in surgery. So it was like it's one of those things that it was just continuing with growth in technology. So we had to just get to it. And finally, somewhere in between all the changes, I figured out that change is something that's always going to be there, and we can embrace it or we can brace ourselves up against it and say, no, what good is no going to do you because time is still going to continue to change. And if you've been here on this earth any length of time, I'm sure you've seen that. And I've been here for 67 years. And as an adult, in my young adult in my 20s, my 30s, and now to look back at that is so, so different. So I might as well keep looking forward and accept well, let me just put it this way. I think it's better to say embrace the change. Take the change and deal with it and keep moving. Learn it, grow from it, take action on it, and keep moving. And then the last one that I'm going to say or add to those two is letting go of grudges. Have you ever noticed that you don't realize you have a grudge or you haven't really forgiven somebody or you're still angry about something that happened way in the past and you don't realize it until it hits you. I was married once, a long time ago, back in the 80s, and we ended up getting divorced after 6, 7 years. And I felt like I had done everything. And so, okay, then I finally got to a point where had gotten over him. I was moving on with my life and, so on and so forth. But then every now and then something will still pop back into my head. And I realize, and I keep thinking, have I not forgiven? I said I forgave, and I know that I'm not a perfect person. I know none of us are. So I chose to give it to God and let Him help me to grow in that forgiveness. But every now and then I still have things that pop up in my head about it, and I think that's probably normal. But we can't just let that grudge sit there to the point that it makes us sick, to the point that it makes us angry, to the point that it changes our day. The color of our day was like bright, and we were doing well, and then all of a sudden something crossed our mind, and all of a sudden the darkness set in. The frustration, upset, the irritation, and you're like, what's going on? Why am I? And then when you think back of, maybe sometimes you can catch some of the thoughts that are going through your head, and you're like, oh no, I thought I was done with that. So these are some things I just wanted to share with you today, because there are some of the things that I deal with and that I want to get better on. And I wanted to share that with you, because we just don't, know sometimes what we can do to help ourselves, and to be more positive is a lot better than being negative. Negative makes your stomach hurt, headache, heartache. You don't know why you're frustrated. It's just one of those things. So I am not saying I'm perfect. I never will be. But I am wanting to truly stay on the positive side. I am truly wanting to, do the things that, all the things that are going to help me to be the better me, the best me. And basically, that is it. So if you have any questions, I'm not seeing anything right now. I know some people have to catch it later on the replay, and that's fine. Just do a hashtag replay. Let me know. You can always, like I said, we can always meet in Messenger. You can direct message me, and I will come, and we can have a little bit of a conversation about this. And maybe you are one of those people that's got it all covered, and so you're doing really good, and you don't have those snatchbacks. But I have some of them even from my childhood, and that's just kind of how it is, and that's okay with me. I'm just going to keep moving forward and do the best that I can do with me to be the best person I can be, to help the people that I want to help. So I'm going to go on and get out of here. Wherever you are in the world, no matter what time it is for you, I hope that you have a great rest of whatever that looks like for you. And so I won't be going live again until next Tuesday and Thursday, and it will be 12 noon, unless, like I said, something happens. Sometimes, stuff happens and we have to go later or earlier or whatever. But I'm hoping that cutting it back to Tuesdays and Thursdays, that I'll have more leeway, especially with me still, doing mentorship. And I was about to go on another tangent, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to go on and get out of here. Take care. Bye now.